Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking all about the Legend of Acrius and of course its masterwork. Now, I actually ended up getting the catalyst itself from the final checkpoint of the Leviathan raid after beating Callus, and I went down into that room and got the chest, and not only was I lucky enough to get the Legend of Acrius catalyst on my very first attempt, but I actually ended up getting the Skyburner's Oath catalyst in the exact same chest. So 2 catalysts, and I finished one of the challenges that I had to do on my Solstice of Heroes armor set, and I did all 3 of those just by getting that, chest right there and doing 1 Leviathan run, which was, in my opinion, one of the best loot drops that I've had in all of Destiny 2. So I was feeling super lucky, and after that I actually went into the engine room. Now, this is a fairly well-known farm for specific catalysts, especially ones that have a percentage bar, and you have to get lots of kills to level it up. Now, the Legend of Acrius is one of those weapons that I did farm this room for. It probably took me about 25 minutes, and I actually also did the tractor cannon while I was down here. All in all, I would say both of them took me about 45 to 50 minutes to complete, and that was going from 0% all the way up to 100 on both of the weapons. So this is definitely the best place to farm. Obviously, I do not take any credit for, coming up with this, method or this farm or anything like that. I heard it from one of my friends, and he probably saw a stream or a YouTube video on this specific farming spot. So what does the Legend of Acrius exotic catalyst do for the weapon? Well, it is one of the better catalysts for exotic weapons in the game. It boosts the reload speed by 2.5 times what it currently is at, and then on top of that you actually get from 2 rounds in the magazine, you get all the way up to 6. So that's a 300% increase, and honestly, I don't think there's any other catalyst in the game that increases any stat on the weapon as much as 300%. This is probably the one outlier out of all of the catalysts, and it's very strange because the Legend of Acrius was a weapon that was already pretty top tier and meta for a lot of different scenarios, especially the pleasure gardens within the Leviathan raid. So the fact that they made this weapon even better is quite confusing, but you know what? I'll take it. I love seeing super powerful weapons that may, be better than everything else and not necessarily in line with balance, but I just love having fun with weapons, so this is right up my alley. It's probably also worth noting that in addition to the massive reload buff and also the increase in the magazine size, the total amount of bullets that this weapon can hold has been increased by 1. It's something significant but worth noting. It used to be 10 bullets in total, and now this thing can hold 11. What I did was actually take this weapon into the Crucible, because that's probably where you're going to notice the biggest difference, because, from 2 bullets all the way up to 6 is pretty damn massive, especially because when you do pull a heavy ammo, you get 4 shots instead of just 2. So instead of normally having to reload after getting 2 kills with this weapon or firing off 2 shots, you now have the potential of getting basically a lights out medal wherever you go. So it's incredible, and if you end up picking 2 heavy ammo bricks, then you have 6 shots in your magazine, and God only knows what you can do with that many bullets of the Legend of Acrius ready to fire off. Pairing this with the Shade Step helmet that gives you your health back is probably one of the most insane up close combat builds that you can have, especially if you're somebody who's maybe going for montage clips and you're trying to get a high medal. The Legend of Acrius is something that is definitely going to help you get those medals a lot easier. I feel like there's also no dispute whatsoever over what is the best shotgun in PvP, and the winner, of course, for that would be the Legend of Acrius. Not only is it the most consistent weapon, but it just feels like this thing can map from practically anywhere and from places that other shotguns have no business mapping from. And in addition to that, it feels like you barely have to land the shot on your enemy and they'll die from the Legend of Acrius. You can land just maybe like a quarter of the actual spread and they'll still die, and not to mention this thing one-shots practically any super if you're close enough. So Legend of Acrius is a weapon that I'm definitely going to be using more often within the Crucible. Hopefully I can get myself like a Slayer or Reaper with the thing, because it is notorious for getting collaterals. Overall, I think this is a catalyst that you should definitely grind for in the weeks leading up to the Forsaken expansion, especially because there's really not that much to do other than Solstice of Heroes. Don't get me wrong, the Solstice of Heroes event is a grind, especially if you're one of those individuals that is trying to level up all 3 of your characters and go for that exotic ship, but still, there's a lot of time from now up until the Forsaken expansion. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's actually 30 days exactly from today, so that means you have a lot of time to, do a Leviathan raid once a week just to try getting this thing for yourself, and I would definitely recommend it because, like I said earlier in my video, I think it's probably the catalyst that makes the biggest impact on an exotic weapon in the game. I mean, if you think about it, there's not too many other catalysts that really change the way a weapon is, and to have the catalyst change the magazine from 2 to 6, just that part, if that was the catalyst by itself, it would already be amazing, but it increases the reload speed significantly and gives you 1 more bullet to have in your reserves. That's just incredible. 10 out of 10 catalyst. Go get it if you haven't already, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Subscribe for more daily Destiny 2 content. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.